5's current topic is charity. So we went to ask our school's community engagement lead, Mrs. Charlwood, what it's all about.
Come on, let's go find out about charity from Mrs. Charlwood.
Okay.
Hello, Mrs. Charlwood. Can you tell us about charity and what does the word charity mean?
A charity is an organisation that is set up to help people, or some charities help animals or help the environment, and it's a way of raising money or giving other things that for people who are in need. We can help people that may need certain things. Our charities at school, we've given food, we've donated things like toothbrushes and toys for children. We work really hard to work with the local community to try and support the people around us who may need things that we can help them with.
Cool, thanks Mrs. Charlwood.
Let's look into this in more detail. Charities help raise awareness and they help raise money.
Raising awareness of the problem helps the world communities understand the problem people face.
Making the public aware of certain issues can ensure more people to think about their actions and have a better understanding of the challenges that others might be facing. Talking about a problem helps many people to deal with their challenges. They might find others who have experienced the same problem so they can share their experiences and support one another. Charity helps spread the word about particular issues, and this awareness is a great way of helping people understand what others might be going through. Raising money is a great way to help those in need. People might need food, water, shelter, or medical help, or animals might need protection. Trees might need to be planted, and all this can cost a lot of money. Donations from you and me and others in the world who have a little bit to spare makes a huge difference, ensuring that resources like food and water can get to those who need it. Money raised can also help pay for scientists, doctors, and experts spend time researching and investigating the causes of things like global issues, like extreme climate, or finding cures for illnesses and diseases. Fundraising drives at schools and other organisations is a great way to raise money whilst also making more people aware of the issues facing some people in our local, national or global communities.
There are literally millions of charities in the world that support a huge range of causes.
Let's listen to some Year 5s talk about their favourite charities. I've been researching a charity called Team C's, set up by Mark Rober and Mr. Beast. Team C's pledge is to remove £1 of rubbish for every dollar they raise. So far, they have removed over £30 million of rubbish from our oceans.
I'm interested in the charity Cat Protection. It was founded in the UK in 1927. They help 500 cats every day.
Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford raised over £20 million during the COVID pandemic. With the charity Fair Share, he used the money to deliver meals to children in the UK living in poverty.
My favorite charity is Team Trees. Raised by Jimmy Donaldson in 2019, Team Trees has raised over $23,808,500 in cash.
What a great selection of charities.
What charity would you choose to support?
One of our school's chosen charities, Second Chance Bangkok, is based in Clontberry.
Pippa and Emily went to find out more.
We're at Second Chance Bangkok. Let's go have a look inside. Hi, we're Pippa and Emily, and today we're going to be be interviewing Kun Oi and Kun Fern. Can you tell us about some things you do here at the charity?
We're running a second-hand shop, and we sell the second-hand clothing, like second-hand item with affordable price for the people from the local in Kong Doi community. And we also run the upcycling project where we take the donate clothing like this and upcycling to something like a household or a giftware or personal products.
How do you help people in this community?
So we have like 16 people working here, and we are all from the Kong Doi community. So we help the people from Kong Doi community, and we also run the kids club and help about education and medication care.
And finding the support the people who indeed lack of the resources, and also the homeless people who walk around here and they want to take a bath. Just, hey, can I come to have a shower? That's, of course, we welcome, because we want to break down what I said before, prejudice, right, discrimination. We want to affirm them that even you're a homeless person, you're welcome here. You have a home to just have food, have a bath, and you can do shopping. Which clothes you like downstairs is for free. That's all. Because we want them to feel love and dignity and value that. Yes.
Who started Second Chance Bangkok?
So back like 14 years ago, there are two Australian missionaries. They just come to live in Kong Doi community to help the people. But they have two kids at that time. They just send their kids to the international school like you. And like one day when the parent and the school knows that they live in the slum, so they would like to help the people in the slum, and they know that the people might don't have a chance to wearing a good clothing or something like that. So they just donate the clothing or small thing to the founder, to all founder, and pass this to the people, to the neighbors.
Can you show us some stuff you've made?
So this one is also made from the second-hand clothing, the dress, and the jeans, the denims. And this one is very popular.
Yeah.
Wow.
The customer loves this one. Yes. And these soft toys too.
Fox.
Yeah, handmade. And we made all of them for the second-hand clothing.
What can we do to help?
We can try to raise money to support causes that are important to us. We could
Plan a cake sale. Take part in Sponsor Silence.
we can donate books and toys.
We can sell items we no longer need. Or make things to sell.
It's important to remember, though, that it's not only money that makes a difference. Volunteering your time is an excellent way to help others.
Take time out to read with elderly people who might be lonely.
Participate in a beach cleanup.
Offer to pick up some items from the supermarket for your neighbor.
Offer to walk your neighbor's dog.
Or volunteer to help decorate a local school.
Here's a story about a very charitable giant. The Smartest Giant in Town by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler.
George was a giant, the scruffiest giant in town. He was wore the same pair of old brown sandals and the same old patched up gown.
I wish I wasn't the scruffiest giant in town,
He said sadly. But one day, George noticed a new shop. It was full of smart clothes, so he bought a smart shirt, a smart pair of trousers, a smart belt, a smart strappy tie, and some smart socks with diamonds up the side, and a pair of smart shiny shoes.
Now I'm the smartest giant in town.
He said proudly. George left his old clothes behind the shop. He was about to go home when he heard a sound. On the pavement stood a giraffe who was sniffing sadly.
What's the matter?
Asked George.
It's my neck,
Said the giraffe.
it's so very long and so very cold. I wish I had a long warm scarf. Cheer up,
Said George. And he took off his stripy tie.
it didn't match my socks anyway.
He said, as he wound it round and round the giraffe's neck. It made a wonderful scarf,
Thank you.
said the giraffe. As George rode toward home, he sang to himself.
My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town.
George came to a river. On a boat stood a goat who was bleating loudly.
What's the matter?
Asked George.
It's my sail,
Said the goat.
it blew away in a storm. I wish I had a strong new sail for my boat.
Cheer up,
Said George. And he took off his new white shirt.
it kept coming untucked anyway.
He said as he tied it to the mast of the goat's boat. It made a magnificent sail,
Thank you.
said the goat. George strode on, singing to himself.
My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town.
George came to a tiny ruined house. Beside the house stood a white mouse with lots of baby mice. They were all squeaking.
What's the matter?
Asked George.
It's our house.
Squeaked the mother mouse.
It burned down and now we have nowhere to live. I wish we had a nice new house.
Cheer up,
Said George, and he took off one of his shiny shoes.
it was giving me blisters anyway.
He said, as the mouse and her baby scrambled inside. The shoe made a perfect home for them.
Thank you.
They squeaked. George had to hop along the road now, but he didn't mind. As he hopped, he sang to himself.
My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. But look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town.
George came to a campsite. Beside a tent stood a fox who was crying.
What's the matter?
Asked George.
It's my sleeping bag.
Said the fox.
I dropped it in a puddle. I wish I had my warm, dry sleeping bag.
Cheer up,
Said George, and he took off one of his socks with diamonds up the side.
it was tickling my toes anyway.
He said. As the fox snuggled into it, it made a very fine sleeping bag.
Thank you.
Said the fox. George hopped on, singing to himself.
My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of my socks is a bed for a fox. But look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town.
George came to a big squatchy bog. Beside the bog stood a dog who was howling.
What's the matter?
Asked George.
It's this bog.
Said the dog.
I need to get across, but I keep getting stuck in the mud. I wish there was a safe, dry path. Cheer up,
Said George, and he took off one of his smart new belts.
it was squashing my tummy anyway.
He said, as he laid it down over the bog. It made an excellent path.
Thank you.
Said the dog. The wind started to blow, but George didn't mind. He hopped on, singing to himself.
My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of my socks is a bed for a fox. My belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. But my trousers are falling down. Now I'm the coldest giant in town.
Suddenly, George felt sad and shivery, and not at all smart. He stood on one foot as he thought.
I have to go back to the shop to buy some more clothes.
He decided. He turned around and hopped all the way back to the shop. But when he got there, it was closed.
Oh no!
Cried George. He sank down onto the doorstep, and a tear ran down his nose. He felt as sad as all the animals he had met on his way home. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw a bag with something familiar poking out of the top. George took a closer look.
My gown!
He yelled.
My dear old gown and saddles.
George put them on. They felt wonderfully comfortable.
I'm the coziest giant in town,
he cried, and he danced back home along the road. Outside his front door stood all the animals he had helped. They were carrying an enormous present.
Come on, George!
They said.
Open it!
George untied the ribbon. Inside was a beautiful gold paper crown and a card.
Look inside the card, George,
said the animals. George put the crown on his head and opened the card. Inside, it said,
Your tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. Your shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. Your shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of your socks is a bed for a fox. Your belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. So here's a very fine crown to go with the sandals and gown of the kindest giant in town.